So Hotel Tonight is a marketplace, and you guys, as a marketplace, think a lot about managing supply and demand, both from the marketing function and the business development function. How do you guys measure liquidity in your marketplace, and how do you guys incentivize your marketing business development team towards that liquidity metric?
Yeah, so I think every marketplace is a little different. In our marketplace, though, supply is relatively easy to get on a relative basis. It's not easy, but on a relative basis, it's easy because hotels have empty rooms. It doesn't cost them much to load them into our platform. They're already working with third-party distributors. We could go to them and say, hey, we've got something different. We've got something incremental. We've got something that's going to merchandise your hotel very well. That makes a lot of economic sense for you and for you as a revenue manager at the hotel. That's going to help you achieve your bonus numbers and for the hotel itself. It's in the economic interest of the hotel. And so because of that, we were able to get their participation in their inventory. Now, we knew that we had about 3 months from that moment to show them results. The good thing is the results don't have to be about selling 100 rooms a night at the hotel to sell the hotel out. We have to show some incremental level of action from the hotel revenue manager to reaction, which is bookings and revenue. And if we show some progress there, then we've got them and they never leave because we're delivering incremental value add to them. So we have incentivized our teams around, just recently though, around room night growth metrics to make sure that we're getting the right types of hotels in, and then we're working with them to make sure that they're successful. On the demand side, demand is much, much harder because there's this 40% of every hotel room in the country is empty right now. So there's a lot of supply, and generating new demand is much more challenging. And so I think that's where we work as an entire company because a lot of it's the product, a lot of it's the messaging to the press, a lot of it's the customer service that we offer, and it's this whole customer experience that generates the demand that fills these rooms up. So there's not I think there's not a specific team that's bonused or compensated on that because it's the entire company that's bonused and compensated on that. So that's how we look at it.
Got it. And when you guys first started, you guys were the upstart, competing against the incumbents that were mostly web-based. And today, even the incumbents have kind of moved into the last-minute booking, app and space, and then other other upstarts in other countries have kind of gone into the Hotel Tonight, vertical. How do you guys think about defending yourself against that over time?
Well, we don't think about defending ourselves. We think about being offensive and always looking to make our product better and in some extent put ourselves out of business. So we do that in two ways. One is through focus, and we don't try and do too much too quickly. We've stayed very focused on same-day booking for tonight, only in hotel, and we do it better than anybody else in the world.
Better price. Going back to mobile first.
Going back to mobile first. One platform, one type of inventory that we offer. But the best prices, the best booking experience, the best support, the best merchandising, and the dimensions that we've decided are important to be the absolute best at those. And that's resonated with customers and fuels our growth. The other thing that we do is we do quarterly product planning. We don't do long-range product planning because this market is changing so quickly. We look at that every quarter at a moment in time and say, what is best for the business right now? And what would we be afraid of somebody else launching? Or what would we not want to see somebody else launch? Okay, well, let's launch that. And so that's one way that we make sure that we're never going to have that moment where we wake up and we say, oh, that was what we wanted to do but didn't do because we actually did it ourselves.
And this is the first time you're managing an organization this big, as the CEO and founder. What are some of the learnings in the past, 18, 24 months during this period in terms of building culture, hiring, anything else you can share with other entrepreneurs out there?
And one of the things we did early at the recommendation of some of our board members and advisors was to establish what our culture was defined as. And so got the founding team together and spent half a day thinking about this and then ruminated over a period of time and came up with, really it's 3 words. And 3 is always an important number for Hotel Tonight. We started in 3 cities. We started with 3 hotels in every market that we launched in. And it's still a very nice organizing principle as a number in the company. So we wanted to have 3 words that defined our culture. And those 3 words are build, question, and respect. So build things that are lasting and meaningful. Question is to throw away what's happened before and think about what's best for right now. And then respect is to treat others as we want to be treated. That could be our customers, that could be our hotel partners, and it's definitely each other. And then having that as a filter for all of our decisions. And especially hiring decisions. So that's led us to bring in people that are also consistent with that culture, which have then led to more people that are consistent with that culture. So the hiring decisions mapping back to a specific defined set of cultural values, I think is very important. We have those values on the wall when you walk in.
Yep.
We talk about at the beginning of every meeting. We have the recognition of individual employee efforts is based around did they build, did they question, or did they respect? And so it's percolated in the company. It sounded a little corny maybe, especially when we were about 10 people doing this, but I can't say how important it's been to making sure that the company remains the type of company that I'm not only proud to lead, but proud to work in.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great place to work. You guys hiring? What positions are you guys looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for a lot of great people. I think all the time, great companies are always looking for great people. And in particular needs right now, we're looking for people to help with hotel relationships and account management. We're looking for some leadership in some roles in marketing, for sure. And then also, we're always looking for great people to help build great products. So designers, product managers, engineers, that's Rails, iOS, and Android. And we're looking for people that want to help build the next great travel brand.
And then final question, as you think about building your company for the future, or if you have any, looking back, do you have any advice for entrepreneurs trying to seek the same path that you kind of stepped upon in 2011?
Yeah, one of the things that as I look back on Hotel Tonight and how it's become a success versus my first two companies in online travel, which were sort of singles, if you're being generous. On a generous day, they were singles, is that we were building a better product than what was out there with Hotel Tonight, but it was also very different than what was out there. So it was very distinctive and memorable, and emotionally arousing because of its differences. So it didn't do a lot of the stuff that the other guys did. It only had a few hotel results. It only had a few cities. It was only on mobile, was one of the big differences. It only worked with great hotels. It didn't have a search, didn't have a sort and filters, all these things that are sort of table stakes for the big online travel agencies. Initially you could only book for one night. Now you can book for 5 nights, but it always starts tonight, so it's always immediate. So we did all these things that were very constraining, but they became very memorable and very evocative. And so people talked about it being so different. And that led to word of mouth, and that allowed us to be better at certain dimensions, but not all dimensions. So, and compare that to my first two companies where we tried to out TripAdvisor, very difficult to do, and definitely wouldn't recommend that path for someone. So I think it's important for entrepreneurs to think about being very different first, and then think about how you're going to be better at it.
Sam, thank you so much for being with us today. That was great.
My pleasure, thanks.